Hey, y'all, welcome to the Unleashed Performance Therapy Podcast coming at you on this Sunday afternoon. So today I wanted to kind of introduce you to one of my new co-hosts I'm going to have on the podcast. My podcast in 2020 kind of had to stop doing that. I ran out of time, for lack of a better word. My daughter had just been born. Um, I started PTA school, and I didn't have enough time to devote to the podcast, and so I just kind of stopped doing it. But here coming in 2024, I wanted to bring it back, and I wanted to introduce everyone to one of my classmates in my doctoral program. Really smart guy. He's got a lot of experience in the physical therapy realm. He's got a lot to offer, and I think he's going to bring a lot to the podcast. So his name is Robert. Robert, you want to go ahead and introduce the listeners to yourself? Or
Yeah.
introduce the listeners.
Yeah. So appreciate you having me on here. Pretty excited about this. My name's Robert McNair. Like Jimmy said, I'm a fellow classmate of his at University of St. Augustine in the doctoral program for physical therapy. I've been a tech for coming up on June, makes 12 years. So I took a different route than a lot of people. I knew I wanted to do physical therapy, but I was out chasing that dream, trying to play sports overseas, trying to get that contract and whatnot. But again, always knew that I was going to be playing soccer. So doing physical therapy. So I kind of chased one endeavor at a time, and now I made it to the point to where I'm ready to get licensed. So now I'm doing the physical therapy thing.
Yeah, and I knew that you said that you wanted to do physical therapy and you didn't want to go the athletic trainer route. Was there any specific reason that you didn't want to go into athletic training?
I think the main thing, my mom being a nurse, she was an ICU nurse, and she was there in like critical care unit, the ER, and she would tell me stories and not holding back details, and I think that really intrigued me. I enjoyed
Mm-hmm.
the not necessarily well, I enjoyed the gory stuff. Of course, physical therapy we don't really mess with too much of that, but I enjoyed the medical aspect of it, the ins and outs of the human body, stuff like that. It was just it intrigued me, so I was like, okay, I enjoy sports and all that, but I wanna go a little deeper into the medical field without being that actual MD and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can see that. And physical therapy is kind of like that middle ground between being a medical doctor and being an athletic trainer. I feel like that's a really good midpoint. Um, so what was it like growing up playing soccer for you?
So soccer, of course, my favorite sport, but growing up I played all sports. I was real active. My mom and dad had me in everything. With both of them being in the military, I was moving around a lot. So we would move around and end up somewhere, and they're in the middle of football season, and that was just difficult trying to just, even though it was elementary school and stuff like, well, middle school and stuff like that, just walk on to a football team, kind of stuff like that. So
Yeah.
soccer is one of those things. It's a year-round thing. So I was kind of always in soccer. Whenever I did have the opportunity to play football and stuff like that, of course, being here from Texas, football was football. So that was
Of
the number
course.
one sport I played. But of course, I enjoyed soccer. So um, growing up, I think my first actual competitive team, it was real young. I started playing when I was 6, and that's kind of like the YMCA, everybody gets a trophy kind of thing. But I think at least by the time I was 8, I was on competitive teams in Kentucky and stuff like that. So
Oh, wow.
that definitely gave me that little push to keep going, gave me that edge, that competitive nature. I still have that quite a bit. Could be a downfall
And
at times, but
I can't remember. Did you play at the collegiate level?
so I did not play college. Funny story, I played my freshman year of high school. In 10th grade, I did not make the soccer team, but I
Ooh.
played I played club with all the people I went to high school with. We played club together, which was kind of odd and funny at the same time because we played club soccer together outside of school, but I didn't
Mm-hmm.
make the team in high
Oh,
school.
man.
But it's again another funny story because you have these alumni games. You got old students going back to the high school and playing. I knew the soccer coaches, so they actually, like, each year they let me come back and I
Mm-hmm.
go pick on the varsity kids and kind of rub it in the coach's face that he probably should have kept me in 10th grade. So yeah, no, I didn't play college. Funny thing about that, I keep saying funny thing, but thing about that, not many big schools in Texas have men's soccer. So I think last time I told you D1 schools did not, but there's actually two D1 schools that do. SMU and Incarnate Word have men's soccer teams. But
Oh,
other than that, like UT, U of H, they're all student ran. So it's like a college club, like city club
okay.
team. So it's
Hmm.
not funded by the university. It's a student ran club. So never never played in college. Most of the guys that I know that played in college, they went outside of the state, kind of East Coast, Cali, Midwest, stuff like that.
I
So
assume
skipped
that's
out
where
on the
it's most
college. Yeah.
popular.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
But you did play. You said you played overseas. You were chasing dreams of playing soccer at the next level.
Well, yeah. Here in the States in Texas, I played in a couple semi-pro teams, semi-pro outdoor and semi-pro indoor. There was a point in time where I had a kind of a tryout set up that kind of fell through trying to go to Norway and play. So I never had the opportunity to actually play on a team overseas. But of course, I've traveled and lived overseas, played over there, things like that. Again, that was the dream that I was chasing once I started working as a tech. And luckily, I had real support therapists around me. They told me I can be a therapist all my life, but I won't play soccer all my life. So they they kind of
Yeah,
supported
no,
me
that's
with
the
that.
truth.
So it's like I would work Monday through Thursday, and we would travel to play soccer, Oklahoma, Louisiana for the weekend, and then come back, and I'd be right back at work. So
Oh
did that for
man.
a while, and then decided I was getting old in soccer years, and went back to school, finished my undergrad, and here today. So
Whew. How did you find the time to practice, or did you? What was the training like for this soccer team?
so our semi-pro team, it being semi-pro, not necessarily paid, but we have sponsors that pay like for travel, uniforms. They pretty much fund the team. Um, So it wasn't, I want to say, like completely a job because a lot of us did have actual jobs that we
Mm-hmm.
worked and then we would go to practice. So it was kind of mandatory. The coach made it that if you were going to play that weekend, our games are usually on the weekend, you had to be at least at 3 or 4 of the practices because we had some type of training every day, 5 days a week throughout the week, and you needed to be at least to 3 or 4 practices that week. Um, it's again, soccer is one of those, it's very cardio heavy. You got to be in shape kind of thing. So we I'd say before each practice we probably run maybe 2-3 miles, and
Okay.
that's the start. And then from there
Uh-huh.
we go to drills, stuff like that, and then you end the practice with like a full field actual game, probably like 30-minute game. And we're doing that at least 2-3 times a week. I say the day before our game, we had a team doctor. If you had any kind of treatment you needed, massage, anything like that, the day before the
Oh,
game,
that's nice.
we do that. Um, if there was any type of film that we had on any other team, that would be kind of a film day. So we do that, and
Okay.
then game day, and then after the day after game day, just kind of a maybe like a light stretch day, light jog day, something like that. So
Okay. Well, I
I
assume
think
that there was an in season versus an off season. So what was the training like for you? Well, so that was more of an in-season type thing where you train
right,
before the
right.
game, 3 to 4 practices as you go to practice. On the off season, are you practicing with or training with the team, or you do having to do your own thing? What did that look
I
like?
I think we stayed together. It was something that was kind of mandatory in the off season. I think we based a lot of our training off different colleges. You have just like any other team, any sport, you have different ideas that's going to bring you the best results. So some people may in the off season, okay, we're gonna do mostly cardio 3-4 days a week, and then we'll do
Mm-hmm.
tactical stuff or whatever. And then other teams, they say no, we need to be in the weight room. Let's get you lifting stuff like that. Which we incorporated that. We probably had 1 or 2 days where we had a sponsorship at Bally's. Shows you how old I am. There's no more Bally's around here. We had a sponsorship with Bally's, and we would go to the gym, we'd lift weights, we'd use their indoor track. So probably like Monday, Wednesday, we're in the gym. The other days it's cardio. If we don't meet up, the coach is kind of putting it on our own shoulders. Hey, you need to get out, get a little cardio in, get a nice run. We got to stay in shape
Yeah, for sure.
24/7 all the time. Yeah.
So other than cardio, what would you think is the biggest thing for a soccer player to be able to train for?
It's definitely the mental aspect because I mean it's one thing. Some people that may not know much about soccer just looks like a bunch of guys just
That's me.
chasing the ball
That's
around
me.
on the field, but it's actual. There's actual plays. There's tactics. There's positions. So that was one of the big things. Whether it's in season, out of season, you kind of you get tired and your mind starts not focusing. So we would
Absolutely.
go through a whole practice and then we would work on tactics. Okay, if you're able to perform these tactics, execute these things when you're tired, when you're in the game and not as tired, it should be easier. So there were days where it's just strictly kind of tactics and we're working drills.
It comes down to that practice how
So
you
that's
play kind of thing.
oh, definitely. Definitely.
So, how did playing at each of these levels? I know you started really young, and then you played in high school, and then there wasn't a college team for you to play on, but then you did go to the next level. How was playing at each? How did playing at each level impact your growth as a person and as a professional, as a health professional?
I think it definitely when I was younger, it helped me to start out competitive at a young age. Um, no, nothing against the different leagues that there are now where everybody's kind of, I think there's
Yeah,
one called fun, positive, fair soccer kind of thing. Cause you definitely, you don't want to push too much on young kids, get them burnt out before they even get to a competitive level. But, I think I was lucky enough that when I started that competitive level early, that I could kind of differentiate, okay, this is sports, this is blah, 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 whatever. So I think it gave me a mindset that okay, there are winners, there's losers. If you want to win, you got to work hard. If you don't put the work in, then you're not going to get the result. So I think again, even at a young age, I was pretty dedicated to with the work ethic kind of thing, and I think that carried over into high school club soccer. It's just that competitive step just kept going up and up. And okay, you need to put more work in it. Okay, this person, you might be better than this person, or this person might be better than you. Because now we're at kind of different tiers. Okay, this person has strengths, this person has weaknesses. So I think that goes back into even the tactics. You figuring out certain stuff on the soccer field, then you get in the real world. Okay, I'm not going to be able to just go in
yeah.
guns a blazing. I got to come with a game plan, stuff like that. Um, and then definitely into the semi-pro realm. Um, I mean, you gotta take care of yourself. We were there was times where luckily genetics helped me, but there was times that we were trying to, or coach was trying to put us on like meal plans, stuff like that. But
Oh
me,
yeah.
I'm a garbage disposal. I can eat anything and not gain weight, so that was a good thing. But it's again just a dedication. It's definitely a sport when you're at that level that you gotta have that dedication. You can't half step it on the
You have to be
field.
passionate.
Passionate for sure, definitely high passion for the game. Live it, breathe it, kind of thing. Incorporate it into everything you do. And I think I definitely did that when I started my physical therapy journey, mixing it with the
Hmm.
soccer as I was playing.
Okay. Okay. Did you see a lot of
Yeah,
injuries?
I did. Luckily, knock on wood, I never had a serious, I say, bodily injury, which I think my most serious incident, I got a concussion, caught an
Mm-hmm.
intentional elbow right in the temple. And
Oof.
this is funny thing. This is what I'm being told because I caught an elbow in the temple. Me and a guy were kind of going back and forth all game. Um, I staggered and kind of a little scuffle between the teams. He got a red card sent off. They said I played for another 15, 20 minutes and then I just sat down on the field. So I
Oh
remember not.
man.
Yeah, I remember nothing from that Saturday actually. So it's kind of scary, but that's
Yeah,
the
that's
extent
rough.
that's the extent of my injuries. No broken bones, plenty of rolled ankles, bumps and bruises, but nothing too serious. Yeah.
Well, on the note of injuries, so now that you've been in the PT realm for a while, but now you're studying for your doctorate. How do you see things differently now when you're looking at people running, people switching directions? Like, what what has changed about your vision on the sport now that
I
you're
I think I'm definitely more kind of cognizant of the way people run, tackles, people going in at the ball. I think me myself, I'm careful the way I maybe challenge the ball, though I'm not going in like 50% because that's kind of how you get hurt. And going in hard, but going in hard smart.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, just like with all physical therapists, you kind of analyze people's gait in the mall and stuff like that. I'm sitting here
Oh,
at
for
practice
sure.
watching the way people run and kick, stuff like that. And it's funny if whether it's practice or like games, the teams that I play for now, these competitive teams, somebody goes down, everybody already looks at me like I'm
Oh,
like I'm
really?
the team doctor to go check on them. So it's funny. Uh, I'll take it as a respect, but sometimes I'm like, yeah, that's out of my pay grade. You guys figure it out.
I'll get
Nah, I
back to
wouldn't
you
do
in a
that to
few
anybody.
years,
Yeah.
right?
When I'm licensed, I can diagnose that for you. But yeah, I definitely it's something now that I pay a lot more attention to. Not to the point where it gets in the way of anything, but I do notice things differently now with the knowledge that I have. Yeah.
It's kind of cool to be able to do that. I know, like, when I'm watching sports on TV, or if I go to like a high school football, basketball game, I can point out things that I had no idea that I could point out. I mean, if I would have known this 10 years ago, I would have been able to prevent all kinds of different things that were going on with
Right.
me. But it's really cool to be able to do that in our profession. You can look at someone, like you said, analyzing someone's gait. You can say, "Oh, that person's got they've got weak glutes on the left side,
Right.
and
Right.
they
Yeah.
might have had something going on there." But yeah, it's pretty cool to see that. And you said you're playing still. You're still kind of active.
I am. It's been a couple months now since school started. Trying to fit that back in because school is taking priority, of course. But yeah, I still play at a high level. It's a league here in Houston, HFA, Houston Football Association, and we're in the Premier Division. We actually, over the last few seasons, there's been some professional players that are on some teams, like when they're in between contracts. Had a player that he retired from, I believe the Dynamo. He was playing on the team, so it's real competitive. A lot of ex
Okay.
college guys. So it's
Well, I don't mean to
I'm
put you on the spot, but you're playing now. You said you're active, or kind of, since school started. Are you actively training for soccer
oh
right now?
no, you're not putting me on the spot at all. No, I am actively eating as much as I can, and I haven't been I haven't ran in I don't know how long. I walk up the stairs and I start breathing heavy, so I need to get back
Got
at
it.
it.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess that 2024 couldn't come sooner, right?
Hey, it's time to
Uh,
to stamp these resolutions in. Yeah.
well, before we end, I had one more question for you. I wanted to ask, what's the biggest piece of advice you'd give someone who has those aspirations of competing at the next level in their sport?
In any sport, I say like you said, the passion. If you truly have that passion, it's gonna bring along the dedication that you need. And once you start getting into those upper levels, if you have the dedication, people will see it, and they can help you along the way, especially if they've been there before. They can kind of guide you along. I mean, they can't take you all the way up, but they can guide you along to at least get you close to where you want to be or where you want to be. So I think dedication, just being dedicated to whatever you decide to do, just go at it
Mm-hmm.
100%. And I think
Absolutely.
regardless of outcome, I think you'll be happy because you've
Yeah,
given it your all, stuff like that. So yeah, dedicated. Got to be
I
dedicated.
agree. I agree. Well, Robert, I look forward to having you on the podcast, co-hosting with me, and I think you're going to bring something really special to the show, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Is there anything else that you wanted to say?
Nah, I got nothing. I again appreciate you having me. Can't wait till we can really get it underway. Get all
Yeah,
these
for sure.
formalities and introductions out of the way,
Yeah,
and I can
absolutely, man.
stop rambling over my words, and we can get into some good
No,
get into
it's
some good stuff.
yeah. I know. I hear you. I gotta kind of shake off the rust too. Um.
Yeah,
All
you're the
right.
professional.
Well.
I'm taking notes from you.
All right, man. Well, that's going to be it for this episode of the Unleashed Performance Therapy Podcast. If you have any questions or have anything you want us to talk about on the podcast, shoot me a DM on the Instagram at unleashed.tx. And y'all, be sweet to me. Scroll down to the bottom, give me a 5-star review, share the podcast with your family and friends. And until next time, peace.